Good afternoon, everybody. Joe with NDB Aviation, and today we're going to talk about a product that I ordered not too long ago that I was intrigued by to try out to replace my old Logitech Extreme 3D Pro for myself and my kids for simming purposes. And that product is the Turtle Beach Velocity Worn Flight Stick. Now, I was surprised to see that Turtle Beach came out with a flight stick, but it intrigued me to see their range of products, and the flight stick is the first one that I was really intrigued to actually go out there and spend my money on as a replacement for the aging 3D Pro that I have here at home that I utilize with my kids. So I've had it for about a month now, and the kids have had a chance to use it. I've had a chance to use it for many hours, and their verdict is in, my verdict is in about it, what I think about it, my things that I like, dislike about it. I know what they like and dislike about it, and surprisingly, they want their old Extreme 3D Pro back versus the Turtle Beach Velocity Worn. Now, given they're younger than I am, extremely young, they're all under the ages of 12, so they have different things that they like about both flight sticks. And in this review, I'm going to give you a quick rundown with my usual template, but I'm going to try to keep this one pretty quick about things that I like and disliked and whether or not I would suggest this product. And really, it's going to come down to one question you got to ask yourself, and I think you can figure out where I'm going with this. Do you really need Xbox functionality? If you don't, there are a lot of other products on the market that are cheaper that offer similar functionality and customizability. So with that being said though, come with me and let's dive into my review. The template we're going to use is, my notes over here are overall impression, design, functionality, durability, value, and final thoughts. So overall impression. On the unboxing of this product, there were a lot of cool features I saw. However, the greatest thing about it was the way they package it. It seems like it should survive pretty much any shipping anomaly or weirdness that you might have if yours shows up with the shipping box damage, because inside, the box itself does a great job of protecting the Velocity Worn Flight Stick. Turtle Beach did a great job protecting this unit from company to your doorstep. Inside the box, you get stickers, the cable to plug it into your PC, Xbox, or Mac, and the flight stick itself and some paperwork. Once you get it out of the box, you set it up. There are a lot of things about this flight stick that are cool. It's ambidextrous. You can change where the palm rest is, and it has two throttle quadrants basically built onto it. It has a pretty stiff centering mechanism we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth here shortly, but overall first impression is it seems to be a very solid, albeit arcade style product for gamers versus actual simmers. So design though, like I said, design of this product, it is very arcade-like. It is really centered at gamers because this gives you that Xbox functionality. After that though, you got some RGB lighting, which is really cool, but at the same time, I don't think it's worth adding into something like this because for a simmer, it's cool, but it's not necessary. For a gamer though, it probably entices the sales point, the value proposition of it being interesting and eye-catching. So it's a cool feature, not necessary though for design for me, and surprisingly enough, my kids didn't care about the RGB either. It has, however, multiple inputs, and you can tie it into the other Turtle Beach products, which is pretty cool, and it gives you the headphone jack, so it's very much similar to design as an Xbox controller, giving you similar functionality that you would find on a controller, now on a joystick and usable with a PC and Mac, like I said before. One issue about the design I didn't like though was the balance of the unit. With that stiff centering spring and the fact that the unit is not square all the way around, it's rectangular for pitch inputs, so pitching down, pitching up, pushing and pulling, the stick itself is going to come off your table. It's going to fall forward or fall backward. So that design cue could have been a little bit nicer. And just getting into the menu system itself, even though you have the circular spinner at the bottom of the unit and you click left or right to go in or out of certain menu features, it's a cool addition. I think it could have been executed a little bit nicer than the spinner, but overall design, it's a pretty solid gaming arcade style product. Now functionality. I was surprised with the functionality that I could use this as it's advertised with my Xbox, my PC, and also my M1 Notebook Pro that I have X-Plane 12 running on there for right now, testing it out with Mac to see the differences and any other issues now that we finally have a final run of X-Plane 12. I was able to use the Velocity Worn across all platforms. Well, I did not test it on the Xbox because I didn't have really anything on the Xbox at the time to really try it out with, but it has Xbox functionality. But I was able to go across 3 different platforms, or at least 2 different platforms, knowing it has 3 platform capability now. And I was surprised. Good functionality. Now, like I said, it has lots of different inputs, so lots of functionality. You can play with those throttle inputs however you want. I kept mine as throttle, one of them, and the other one I played with and changed around from either being mixture, prop control, elevator trim, flaps, or spoilers, depending on what I was doing. So setting up different profiles is going to be very important for this flight stick for different aircraft. That way you get more from it and more out of it, especially if you're doing flight simulation, space simulation. With those two different throttle axes there, you can do a lot, I think, and it would be pretty cool for maybe Elite Dangerous and a few other things. However, with that extreme customizability comes a few issues that I kind of had issues with here for functionality, and it came down to the centering spring or centering mechanism and the ability to change the input sensitivity on the stick. Because you can change the input sensitivity on the stick, there are a few issues to run into with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and the way that it takes the algorithm or input information from your stick and utilizes it in the simulator. Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and X-Plane 12 are different. X-Plane 12 has a nice flat curve, going up, going down, whichever way you're going, across the board, where it is a just straight linear input. The problem with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, as you reach the extreme end of your input, there's a slight exponential increase as you go in and it ramps up. You can change this, but regardless of how much you change it, there's still a little bit of that input issue left with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, but not X-Plane 12, which brings up an issue with these menus and changing your input curves here. I recommend leaving your input curves on the Velocity Worn flight stick straight linear, no increase, no decrease. That way when you get in the sim, you can actually fine tune it and you won't have weird anomalies of the flight stick having a certain sensitivity and the sim having a separate sensitivity and them not coexisting well, giving you weird input oscillations with your aircraft. So keep that in mind if this is a product you're keeping, or maybe you are going to go out and purchase or purchase for somebody. After that though, if you can set up your profiles, keep this on a straight linear curve, and then change it in the sim, I think you'll be very happy with this device. Durability. Now, durability of this product, I don't know for sure. I've only had it for a month now. It has put up with my children exceptionally well, but it's only been a month and it's built for gamers. And I think that might be one of the reasons why the centering mechanism is so strong. Durability-wise, I see no major issues with this product. I think it should survive a lot of gaming for at least a year or two. From there though, I don't know. Usually things like this built for gamers, they last only so long. I've had a lot of gaming style peripherals like this in the past because I wanted to bridge the gap. I had Ace Combat stuff. I had other flight sim peripherals that were specific towards a certain game versus flight simulation, and they only lasted so long. I don't know how long this will last. I hope for many years, but I don't know myself. What I can say though is from my years and years of owning joysticks and yokes, throttle quadrants and all that, even repping SciTech years ago at the air shows, I do have a concern. I'm not saying this is a true identifiable problem, but I have a concern about any device that has an exceptionally strong centering spring or centering mechanism. As those mechanisms get weaker, the digitizer inside here, taking the information from you putting in inputs for roll, pitch, or yaw, is going to have a few more added inputs that you're not putting in. So as that mechanism gets weak, the centering of the joystick is going to lean left, going to lean right, or back or forward, or somewhere else in between in that spectrum. And it's going to cause the aircraft to go left, go right, and so on and so forth. I think you get where I'm going with this. And that's going to require you to make larger null zones to take care of that lack of sensitivity from the centering mechanism. So keep that in mind. It's something in the back of my mind that I am concerned about, but I'm not going to identify as a flaw. Just something to keep in your mind if you're looking at this as a product that you want to have. Aside from that though, durability should be good. Value. At $129, it's not a bad value if you have to have Xbox functionality. If you have to have that, it's okay. However, there are some products that are slightly cheaper. However, the Velocity Worn flight stick does have, I think, the most customizability built onto it. However, it could be a zero-sum game when you compare it to, say, the Thrustmaster X Airbus Edition side stick. So it's going to come down to aesthetics and price point. Are you willing to spend $10 more for the Turtle Beach or the Thrustmaster product or some of the other products? But value-wise, if you have to have the Xbox functionality, it's a decent value proposition and justifiable. If you don't have to have that the ability to play on an Xbox, there are other units out there that are just as good, if not better, for you to use for specifically flight simulation or space sim as well. So final thoughts. Man, it's a cool unit. I'm not going to say that it's not. It's a really interesting gaming, arcade-style flight sim peripheral. Is it something that really I've been impressed with? Not really, unfortunately. Am I happy that I have it? I'm indifferent, which is saying a lot. This is something I really want to use with my kids, and watching my kids have to hold the unit down while they're flying in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and the fact that they're annoyed with how strong the centering spring is. And even I was annoyed when I used it in X-Plane 12 on my MacBook Pro, trying to use it for yaw. If you have the wrong angle, it's going to be really fatiguing on your arm and your wrist, which is really silly to say. You know, it's silly that something would be fatiguing for the gamer to use. So my final thoughts, is this a product I'd recommend? Yes, but only if you really need that Xbox functionality. If you don't need it, there are other products that are just as good. And if you end up with this product, it's a cool product. I think you'll get several good years of use out of it, but know that you're going to need a way to hold it onto your table, and you're going to really need to fine-tune the palm rest. That way you're not hurting your wrist just to use the yaw if you don't have rudder pedals. With that all being said, my kids have already asked for the Extreme 3D Pro back from Logitech. They're already using this. They look at this and they think it's cool, but when it comes to actually flying, they want this back. I hope that helped you all out if you watched the video. If you have questions about the Turtle Beach Velocity Worn Flight Stick, leave them down below. Comments, if you'd like me to do this video or deeper dive into the Turtle Beach, let me know as well. If there are things that you didn't like about how I did this video, let me know. I want to improve, and as time goes on, I expect to branch out further away from flight simulation again and a few other aspects of aviation. And if there are certain topics that you guys would like to see me cover, shoot them down in the comments section below. Thank you all again for watching, or thank you for watching. Thank you again for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and Happy New Year to everybody across the world. Take care and see you again real soon. Joe from NDB Aviation. Bye-bye.